Hey, Pete Winarski here. I'm so excited about today. It's Friday, and that in itself is a really great day, but it's also a wonderfully warm Friday out here in Connecticut. And the thing is that, man, there's been those, the weather is coming, right? We're sitting here at the beginning of November. This is when the weather does turn, and hey, last weekend we had down jackets and gloves on as we were walking around outside. Now it's going to be a nice day. Going to have some outside time. Met someone for a coffee this morning, and we sat outside, as opposed to bundling up. We won't be able to do that much longer, so I'm thrilled about that, and thrilled about getting into what do we do for the rest of this year, and how do we get ready for 2021, the start of next year. Here we are. We're sitting at, what's the date? November 6th today. That's when we're recording this. And, a lot of people have said, 2020, I can't wait till it's over, blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, don't sweat it, man. What can you do to make the rest of this year amazing for you? Thank you guys for joining and being part of this group, this, our More Revenue, More Profit Facebook group, this doing the lives, doing the business results radio or podcast business results radio, and just being part of this, because what you're doing is you're creating this community, the sense of helping each other out, sharing your stories, building on the optimism. I love the life is good theme that the Jacobs brothers have created, the brand Life is Good, and spread optimism, right? And I feel like I'm on that train right now too, spread optimism. And for you as a business leader, it's about getting your goals that you have for your business. How do you make them a reality? Because a lot of us are dreamers. A lot of you out there are thinking, hey, I've got this wonderful dream. I want to build this company. I want to, serve more people. I want to, end up with a big revenue number. Maybe that's for your own sense of pride, and you can, chest thump a little bit, like, yes, look what I was able to do. Yeah, okay. For some of you, that might be important, and let's help you. Let's help you to achieve the goals that matter to you. But remember, if you're serving more people, then that's helpful. The more people you serve, the more you're rewarded, kind of. Think of it that way, right? The universe rewards. The universe rewards action. The universe rewards service. Don't make it about you. Make it about how can you have a bigger impact in the world. So with that in mind, we want to talk about the goals that you have and how do you achieve them with the actions that you take, right? There's a combination here. It's a package. Actions are required to achieve your goals. You can't just set this goal to, add an extra $1 million to your business. And some of you may be $1 million. I don't have my first million. Wait a second. No problem. That's totally cool. And we'll help you to get there with these principles that we're talking about over here in the More Revenue, More Profit Facebook group. So with all of that in mind, think about this. The goals you set. Of course, you've probably heard SMART goals, SMART, and I'll just repeat that. And hopefully it's not new. It's funny, I don't even talk about it really, because I think, well, everybody knows SMART goals. That's been around as an acronym for decades and decades at this point. But for some of you, it's like, yeah, I need the reminder. Thanks for pointing that out. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, SMA, attainable, are relevant, and T, time bound, meaning that specific and measurable, that's an easy piece that a lot of people miss, right? It's okay. Yeah, I want to have more money. How much more are you looking for? If I pulled $1 out of my pocket and gave it to you, did you get there? Well, no, I wanted an extra what? An extra how much, what's the revenue level? What's the profit level? What do I want for my business? So specific might be, I want 7 new customers in the next 30 days. So here's the date, here's the time, by this date and time. That's the T, that's the time part of it. The attainable and relevant is, okay, so if you're a startup to say that I want a $5 million business in the next 30 days is not really very realistic. Might be difficult to get there, right? So is that really a relevant, realistic goal that's going to help support you? I don't know, maybe not. So I'm not saying it's not possible. However, let's try and get some stepping stones to that point. What did I miss? SMA, attainable, R, relevant. Okay, so attainable, relevant. With my example of $1 million overnight. If you're already $1 million revenue company and you want to add the next million, it's not so hard to figure out how to double in size. Some people can double in size in a year. Some people can double in size in 2 or 3 years. But it's certainly a little bit more possible and realistic than let's say you're a $1 million company to become a $100 million company in a year. Probably not, right? So you got to make sure that you've got the right level of goal in mind. And I don't mean to just talk about financial and revenue goals. It just happens to be a yardstick that business owners tend to talk about. It might be, how many customers, how many people did I serve? Now we're getting somewhere, because the other elements of getting your goals right in the first place are, you want to make sure that you are serving, they're coming from how you benefit others, right? It's about how many people can you serve? How much impact, positive impact, can you create in the world through your products and services? So can you impact 1 million people, 10 million people, 100 million people? Wouldn't that be amazing? And obviously there's a relationship back. The more people that you impact, yes, the greater your financials for your business become. So let's say you had something that was $1 each and you impacted 1 million people this year. Well, then if it was $1 each, then there's $1 million of impact that flows back to you. If it was $1 for the service that impacted people. Easy math, but you get the point, right? So if you have something that, if you're creating value, like our business consulting, here we are as business consulting and business advisors, we're creating impact for our clients in the order of magnitude. For the smaller businesses, it might be tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars impact. For the larger clients that we work with, we're talking about hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of impact. So obviously, you keep the philosophy that your value that you create is what then determines what flows to you from a cash standpoint. So revenue into your business, if you have a reputation of creating tremendous financial value, tremendous emotional value for your customers and your clients, they'll come back, they'll get their friends to come with them, and that will help you to grow your business in a big way. So that's all positivity. That's all good to know. So what else about goal setting? You want your goals to be inspiring. What's your big why? What's your bigger vision? What's your, where do you want to take your impact in the world, and what do you want to create? Why is that make the world a better place? What is that big vision, your big why? Why do you do what you do? Why is your business in place in the first place? And now as you set your goals, you're marching towards that bigger why, that bigger vision. We just had a conversation earlier today. It's like, hey, we need some help with our vision and mission. We got our core values nailed down, but we've got to get this language in, because the language of what's on our website is basic and droll. It's boring. It's too vanilla. It's not inspiring, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So with that in mind, right, how can you be inspiring? You want to be inspiring by how you share your vision, enroll people in your exciting vision. I know some business owners who are making a difference in the world, not just for the one person at a time they're able to work with, but the technology that they have can be a game changer for technologies that apply, that other businesses apply in their products and services, that then handle some of the world's biggest problems, like global warming because of the waste gases that are emitted into the atmosphere. What if you could solve that? I know somebody who's solving that. I mean, so grateful that I had this conversation with this guy yesterday. Amazing, right? Big vision. You have a big vision like that, you enroll people in your vision, and then they want to help you. I'll sign up for that one, right? That's extremely important, extremely valuable. So let's get into the action side of the equation. So it's one thing to have goals. There's a lot of business leaders that I know who are really clear on the big picture goal, like the way up here one, but they're not that clear on what are the goals, the sub goals to get there, and what are the things operationally that we need to do in order to achieve the goals up there, right? And piecing that together becomes, oh, is that what that means? So it's like, yeah, I want an extra X dollars, whatever X is for you, of revenue per month. Okay, well, given what it is that you do, given what it is that you do for services and then sell for products, how many more of those is that? Let's say you're a service provider. Well, how many additional people do you need to meet or talk to in order for that to convert into sales? And if you want that on a monthly basis, how do you keep that engine turning? This is where, if you know things like your conversion rate, just make an easy number. Let's say your conversion rate is 50%. And you figure out, well, in order to have that revenue goal of X, I need 10 new ones per month. Okay, well, if you need 10 new ones per month, you better have 20 people that you're talking to, because 50% of them convert. Now you've done the backwards math. Now you have some goals associated with, oh, this is what I have to do. This is how many I need to have. Then you can get into the questions like, well, is your infrastructure in place to handle that? Is the infrastructure to bring people into your world in place? Is the infrastructure to work on and deliver? Is that in place? And if not, then there's another goal. Get the goal to get some of that infrastructure in place to enable you to build and grow and build and grow. How many appointments do you have to have? How do you load up your schedule, right? That's the name of the game. So now you're setting goals perhaps that are sub goals, operational goals that are building blocks, right? And building as you go up and up and up towards that higher level goal that you're setting. So if you want the extra X dollars a month of revenue, that additional volume revenue producing work, then how many do you need to have? And in order to get those, how many conversations or pitches or whatever your process is, visits to your website, how do you improve and tweak your website if you're doing sales through the website, new contacts, whatever. It might be that these are sales calls you're going on and you're following up with real live people with real live phone numbers, and you're phoning them up because you know who they are. They've self-identified. They're basically saying, hey, yeah, I'm interested. I want to talk to you about this thing that you're selling. Catch up with them, right? So how many calls did you make? These are all now actions that are related to the sub goal. So you set the actions and the sub goals down here at this level, the operational level. Just trying to align my hand in the box here so you can see, aligning it at the operational level. And then as you continue to make progress there, you have a next level goal with the actions associated that all add up to the extra amount per month. So let's say, just go back to real examples. Let's say that you wanted to get up to a $1.2 million per year. Why did I say that number? Because that's $100,000 a month times 12 months. So now I've got $100,000 a month revenue that I've got to bring into the business. And so what do I have to do there? Well, how many sales does that equal? And let's keep it simple. Let's say you sell one product, and And let's say it's $10,000 product, whatever that might be. Well, if it's $10,000, I got to sell 10 of them in a month to get to 100. All right, cool. So in order for me to sell the 10, and let's pretend again that the conversion rate is 20, or I'm sorry, 50%, half, then I better talk to 20 people every month to get the 10 sales, to get the 100,000 per month, to get the 1.2 million per year. Math is done. Ta-da, there you go. So now with that math exercise, what are the actions you need to take to make sure that you're getting the 20 conversations in order to deliver the 10 of them every month in terms of the operational delivery? Now let's get into challenging your ability to improve processes. Oh yeah, so it's not just static. What if you can improve your conversion rate, right? Instead of only half of them converting, what if 3/4 of them converted, right? And I don't have a spreadsheet built out for this to illustrate it, but man, that would be amazing. And what if it was easier to get sort of new leads into your world in the first place? New conversations, new people who were self-selecting and saying, yeah, I want that. I want what you have. I want the solution that your product or service it creates for me. I want that solution. So therefore, yes, I want to be in the dialogue with you. And what if you had other things on the front end that made it easier to get people into your world? So now it's not so hard to get the people on the front end. And let's say you did still get those 20, but now they convert 75%, not 50%. You got a nice monthly revenue boost, which makes your annual goal go, you exceed that even more. And what if it was easier to get people in? Now you're not just getting 20 people into your world, you're getting 25 or 30 people into your, I mean, it's just the possibilities go on and on and on. What we're talking about today is making sure that you get that higher level goal. What are the sub goals? And what are the actions you need to take to get there? And then if you could take actions that improved your results so that your assumptions actually prove out to be super conservative and you can get even better results, then man, now you've got an engine that's just turning and creating incredible impact in the world for those who are buying your products and services. And then the goals that you set relative to what you want to create for your business are now you're exceeding them, right? Goals require actions. You've got to have both. They need to be aligned. Goals require sub goals. You need to have them. They need to align. I'm going to make sure we get this across the ticker on the bottom. As you're going through this, I hope you're taking some notes. Go ahead and comment in the boxes here. Get engaged. Tell us about your wins. Tell us if this makes sense to you. Tell us what challenges you have. Challenges with this specifically, or questions that you have with this specifically, and we'll get them answered for you. So big goals require cascading to smaller goals in shorter time frames that you can build some wins. You got to have actions that align in order to deliver the results and hit the smaller goals along the way. You got to have alignment all the way up and down. You got to put the infrastructure in place to make sure you get it. You want to drive profit, you got to drive revenue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are the building your business principles that we talk about here at More Revenue, More Profit. So hope this is helpful to you. Thank you for being with me today, and we'll talk to you again soon.